嗱，過去一年啊，喺疫情底下咧，承受最大壓力嘅一班人咧，莫過於喺醫院裏邊嘅前線醫護人員啦。而你又知唔知道咧，守護住列治文20幾萬人健康嘅列治文醫院啊，佢哋喺疫情之下係點樣面對嚟自四方八面嘅挑戰嘅咧？嗱，呢一集嘅多咗一部檔案咧，我特別請嚟列治文醫院基金會嘅主席 Natalie 同我哋分享一下喺疫情之下佢哋點樣係面對緊唔同嘅挑戰。
Hello, Koinonia. We are so glad to have Natalie Meissner to be with us once again. If you remember, last year we have an interview with her around May, and time flies as almost another year has gone by. So, hi, Natalie, how are you?
Well, hello to you and hello to everyone in the congregation. It's an honor to be back with you a year later already.
Yeah. And just in case we forget Natalie, actually, she is the president and CEO of Richmond Hospital Foundation right in our neighborhood. So Natalie, my first question is that for the past year, how has COVID-19 changed the program focus at the foundation?
Well, thanks for asking, because it has been an incredible year with a lot of changes. When the pandemic first began, we found that the community really wanted to be able to give back and to support all the frontline healthcare workers. So we had to very quickly set up what we called the COVID-19 Response Fund. And you, as a congregation, were a big part of philanthropy to that fund. I'll be very happy to share with you as well that hundreds of people who had never made a philanthropic donation to the Hospital Foundation before did so. And many people from different parts of our community who maybe didn't think that there was philanthropy for healthcare played an important role. From that, all of those donations, including yours, the foundation was able to help the hospital purchase all kinds of equipment. There were ventilators, gas machines, to help people breathe, because as you know, COVID-19 is a respiratory disease, and for people who are seriously ill that ended up in our ICU or in some of the in the hospital, it was essential. And your donations also helped to purchase equipment for our emergency department, as well as today, they're still hard at work because we're now able to help the hospital facilitate virtual visits in ways that they haven't done before. So the pandemic's going on for such a long time, it becomes more and more important to find different ways to communicate and to connect with patients and their families. So that was a big part.
Yeah, it must be
the response.
Yeah, I don't think we ever think about virtual seeing the doctor before, but now it becomes the new normal.
It's true. And I think doctors feel that way sometimes too, but in many ways it made it easier for families, to get their loved ones to medical appointments, and easier for all of us to not have to travel or pay for parking or whatever it happened to be. So.
Exactly. So Natalie, as we enter into the second quarter of 2021, what are some of the current needs or challenges facing the hospital?
Well, I'm going to share with you one of our biggest needs, and we've been fundraising for this since last summer when the Ministry of Health restarted all the surgeries because they were way behind. And we've been fundraising for a brand new minimally invasive surgical system for the operating rooms here at Richmond Hospital. And we're almost done. It was a $2 million campaign, but we still need $400,000 to be able to purchase that equipment. And that'll serve 4 out of the 8 operating rooms. So we're on hold a little bit right now with surgeries just because of the third wave of the pandemic. But that is probably our top priority right now. And the other thing, and you as a congregation have given to this also over the years, is our new acute care tower. So we're just waiting, and I would call this just a little bit of a challenge. We're still waiting for the government Treasury Board to give the final approval for the business plan. So hopefully that's very, very soon around the corner. And again, thank you. Thank you with all of our heartfelt gratitude for playing such a big role over so many years with with the Hospital Foundation and making things happen for people in Richmond.
Yeah, so Natalie, can you share some of the upcoming projects? I know hospital have needs every day, but is there any new projects upcoming in the rest of 2021?
Yes. There is one, and it's a really important one, and I think it's become more important even during the pandemic, and it's mental health. So at Richmond Hospital, we have a mental health inpatient unit, so acute care, when people are very sick with a mental health illness or condition, or they may have an episode, nothing may have happened to them before, and they need to come into the hospital. There are over 250 people each year who require inpatient care. The average length of stay for individuals is 30 days, so that's a pretty long time when you think about it. And there are 18 beds. Now, this unit in the hospital is in the Millen-Ilitch Pavilion, which opened about 25 years ago. And one of the things that the health authority needed to do were some renovations for safety reasons and for infection control reasons. But in Richmond, we have a wonderful way that all of the healthcare providers deliver care to people, whether it's in the hospital or whether it's at home, and it's called person and family-centered care. And what that means is that people really look at the individual and work with the individual, but they also include their family in the care plan. And as you know, families are so important when we're trying to get well, no matter what it is. But when it's a mental health issue or condition or disease, it's even more important. So in this inpatient unit, after 25 years, it's become very drab, and it was built at a different time. And because people are in there for so long, we want them to be in an uplifting and joyful environment. They're not well. They're trying to get better, and their families want to come and be with them. So the part of this renovation that the foundation is fundraising for is that part. We're trying to create an environment that people can get well faster, that their families can come and have a meal with them in the dining room, or they can have a private conversation in a separate room. And so we really invite you to yourselves as individuals or as a congregation consider playing a role in this campaign. And so we're just launching it now, and we'll run till the end of the year, maybe a little bit beyond, so December and beyond. And we hope to see it open at the end, I believe it's November or December, and for all of our patients and our staff to be able to be in this uplifting and warm and home-like environment in the hospital.
Wow, I can imagine that it's so important, especially for COVID. Mental health has been a big part of the challenge, how to help people. So yeah, I'm so happy to hear about that, and sure we'll encourage our congregation, to pray for that as well. And think about prayer. Last question, Natalie. So how can our church as a faith community can pray for the staff and the program of Richmond Hospital?
Well, thank you. And I've given some real thought to this, because we always think about the doctors and nurses, and I think your prayers for them and all of the staff that work in the hospital are very much appreciated and important. But I also think it's important to think about the leadership team. So there are many people, and often these individuals, have a healthcare background. They've been a nurse, or they also wear another hat as a physician. They help with leading change and adapting and moving, staff, or changing the way things are in the hospital to adapt and make way for caring for COVID patients, as well as everybody else that needs care. And so I would invite you to include the leadership, the healthcare leadership, the managers, the directors, the people who are supporting all of the frontline healthcare workers, because I think we're in the third wave. It's been a long time. These people work 12, I know of some who worked 18-hour days over the course of the last year or more. And you can imagine the toll that takes, and then you turn around and you have another challenge. So I think if you include them in your prayers, that would also be important to them.
That's a good reminder, because we always remember the frontline workers. Definitely they are important, but I'm sure the whole hospital is composed of different roles and different partners. So definitely we will keep all the leadership and the manager and the supporting
and
staff.
For resilience, I think if you pray for resilience and people to keep their energy going and not give up.
Yeah, it is a marathon. So
it's a marathon.
Yeah. Well, so Natalie, thank you so much for sharing the needs, the stories, and the challenges at Richmond Hospital.
It's my pleasure, and I encourage everyone to truly stay safe and listen to Dr. Bonnie Henry. We all want to get through this, and we all need to keep doing our part. So thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for your philanthropy and your generosity, everything, a good heart, and thank you for your prayers. It's appreciated.
Yeah, thank you. And just remind all of us that the logo or the slogan of the foundation is called Joyful Giving and Joyful Living. I think that really in line with what the Bible said about it. So I think there's something I just got inspired. So thank you so much, Natalie, as we look forward to see you again very soon. Natalie Meissner is the President and CEO of Richmond Hospital Foundation at Richmond, BC. Thank you.
Thank you.